Hi, everybody. It's Mr. Johnny Five, and I am alive. Today, I'm going to talk to you about how I found a way to vacuum seal 5 gallon food buckets. I spent a lot of time trying to find a vacuum valve on the internet to insert in the top of a lid of a 5 gallon bucket in order to suck all the air out of the bucket and preserve my food items for a long period of time. Uh, what I found was a video on a lady vacuum sealing her wine bottle. And this is the little vacuum seal for a wine bottle. It's rubber. I found these on Amazon. I paid $13.99 for a dozen of them. They seem to be of really good quality. They come apart, as you can see, and that little stopper right there is what allows air to be pulled out, and this little top piece sucks down on there to hold the air in. Whenever you want to release the air back into the bucket, all you have to do is tilt that over to the side. So my second problem was trying to figure out how to get this into the lid of the 5 gallon bucket. So what I did is I went to the hardware store and I looked at a bunch of PVC pipe, and I would take my little stopper and I'd stuff it down in there to see if it's fit in there snugly. And what I found was 3/4 inch CPVC. I used about 1.25 inch length. The little stopper fits right down inside there. And once you get this inserted into the top of the bucket, it allows you to suck all the air out of the bucket and not let the air back in. Now, I had to find a way to drill a hole in the top of the bucket, and what I found was a step drill bit set. I paid about $30 for that. If I hadn't mentioned, the PVC pipe cost me about $8 or $9 for a 5 foot length. So this cost me about $30, and it comes in two sizes. I found that this one that goes from 3/16 of an inch up to 7/8 was the perfect one. The 7/8 is about the same diameter as the PVC pipe. Once I was able to drill a hole in the top of the bucket, I took this is JB Weld plastic bond. It's an epoxy, and it worked real well in sealing the top of the bucket to the PVC pipe. Now, what I found out was that not all buckets are the same. I started with this square lid bucket. While it has a rubber seal down inside of the lid, around the corners here, it does not seat as well, and it allowed the air to escape back into the bucket from those corners. Now, these are all food grade, and I don't know if you can see that real well. It's a hard cooked peeled egg bucket. I get these buckets from restaurants, and so I have no cost involved in that. Now, what I think I'm going to do with this particular one is I'm going to get some, uh, oh, Lord, help me here, some silicone, and I'm going to run a bead of silicone either around the inside of the lid or around the edge of the top of the bucket in order to help that one seal better. We'll see how that turns out, and I will let you know in the future how that one worked out. What I found out, though, was that pickle buckets are the best buckets for sealing up with the vacuum seal. As you can see, I put the epoxy around the inside once I drilled the hole through it, put the epoxy around the top of it, put my little vacuum seal stopper in there, seated this down onto the bucket with that black rubber seal inside of it, and it allowed me to suck all the air out of the bucket and did not allow the air to go back into the bucket. It worked rather well. Now, one of the things I also wanted to mention was that whenever I seal food down in a bucket, I bought these. They are a 5-gallon bucket liner. They are for brining chicken and stuff. They're not real expensive either. I'm not sure exactly what I paid for them, but this is a 5 mil plastic bag, and I use that in order to protect the food a little bit better. Usually grains, rice, beans, things like that, flour. I think it's probably a good idea to have the plastic liner in there, especially now that I'm going to be vacuum sealing the bucket closed so that nothing gets sucked up through the valve. I should be able to twist the bag up and seal it with a twist tie and be able to mitigate that problem. Now, you can buy these. These are oxygen absorbers, and they are not real expensive. You can get about 30 of them, I think, for about 10 bucks or so. But honestly, I don't know how much oxygen is displaced by these, and that's why I sought a way to vacuum seal the bucket. Now, oxygen is bad for food. The longer it's exposed, the quicker it goes bad. So, the more oxygen that you can keep out of the bucket, the longer your food is likely to last. Now, I am going to do a clip demonstrating how I drill the hole, put the PVC pipe in it, epoxy it, and all that on another bucket, just so that you can see how that's all done. And I want you to know that you can get these items pretty easily off of Amazon or at your local hardware store. And hopefully, this will help us preserve our foods that we like to have for long term storage for a lot longer than they normally would. I wanted to let you know about the Fat Boy app. The Fat Boy app is a mom and pop restaurant finder. It is easily available on Android and Apple app stores. You can download it. The purpose of the Fat Boy app is to help people find mom and pop restaurants in their area so that we can help these small businesses build up and make a living. Honestly, the big corporate restaurants anymore, just, it's all the same. It tastes the same. Apparently, this is still rolling and my internet is down. So hopefully this clip gets finished. I will put up a QR code at the end of the video after the clip of me demonstrating how the bucket is done. And I will also put a link in the description for the Fat Boy app. And if you guys have any good ideas, comment, like, and subscribe, and let me know what you think. Y'all have a blessed day. Bye-bye now. Okay, everybody. Like I said, I want to show you how to do this. Step drill bit. We're going to take that. We're going to find this little flat spot on the top of the bucket. Well, maybe get a little divot in there. up to the 7/8. You take your piece of CPVC, and I might have to gouge this one out a little bit. We got our hole drill. Away. Which one was the flat end? Fit that down in there. Takes a little bit of work, but it will go through and it fits pretty snug. We're going to take our plastic bond JB Weld. And a piece of paper here so we can mix it up. Make sure you put the cap back on the bloody thing, because if you don't, it'll harden up on you, and you don't want that. Stir up our stuff here. Good and mixed up. Now I do both sides of the piece of PVC pipe. That way it seals it inside and out. Need a good glob of this here. Run it around the outside of it. And we'll get a good amount around it so that it seals it up real well. And make it as even as you possibly can, of course. One more loop on there. Run over. Come here. I thought this would work better using this pin cap, but it's being a little difficult, so probably use a stick or any kind of piece of wood to do this. But you want to make sure you get enough of this plastic bond on there so that it seals it up real well and you've got a good airtight seal around it. A little bit more on here. Alright, you're just going to let that set. It says it takes about 15 minutes, but my experience was more around half an hour, 40 minutes for it to seal up well. So once you get that done, it gets sealed up. You take your little vacuum seal, pop it down in there, hammer the lid down, take your vacuum and suck it on out of there. I've already got one done, so I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with this. This is a pickle bucket again. As I mentioned earlier, I've got these 5mm brining bags that I use to put the food down into to give it a little extra protection. And in the case of things like flour and rice, you're not sucking the flour and the rice up through the vacuum valve. And we'll stick this down in here. I'm going to go ahead and leave this 25-pound bag of flour in its bag. I'm going to smash that down in there good. Pull this up. Almost forgot. This is an oxygen absorber. I'm going to go ahead and put that in there. Supposedly they're good for a 5-gallon bucket worth of stuff, so we're going to go with that. Tie this bag up good so the bag ain't flopping around everywhere. Okay, make sure I'm grabbing the right lid here. Yeah. That over a little bit. Get my lid on there. Get my little hammer here. Make sure that is down on there good. Magic Shop Vac. Put that right on the top there. Now, just to demonstrate, bring that a little closer so I can hear it. Suck the air out of there. That's how you vacuum seal a 5-gallon bucket. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. And let me know if you guys have any ideas on how to do this better. Thank you, and bye-bye now.